Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to break down a word you've probably seen everywhere lately, manifestation. So what is it really? Is it just some kind of wishful thinking, or is there a real concrete process going on? Well, let's cut through all the noise and get some clarity. And this is where things get messy, right? You ask 10 different people, you get 10 different answers. Is it superstition? Is it a religious thing? Or is it just a trendy new name for positive thinking? This confusion is exactly what we need to tackle first. And this isn't just a hunch. The source for our explainer, Coach Bank Supakit, really hits the nail on the head. He says that, people know the word manifest, but they're confused about what it actually means. The core idea gets lost. Okay, so here's our game plan to clear this all up. First, we'll dig into the confusion itself. Then, we're going to challenge a really common belief about success. After that, we'll get into this wild idea that you are a vibration. And then, a huge one, why this whole process is always on. Finally, we'll talk about how to change that subconscious picture that's running your life. So let's jump right in. Part 1. What's the deal with all the confusion? Why does this concept feel so fuzzy and hard to pin down for so many people? Well, it's mostly because it gets shoved into all these different boxes. For some people, it sounds like pure myth or superstition. For others, it's tied to their religion, maybe something to do with a higher power. And then you've got a whole group of people who just see it as a fancy new word for, motivation and goal setting. When one idea can mean so many different things, of course it's going to be confusing. All right, to really understand this framework, we have to do something a little radical. We have to challenge one of the biggest, most common beliefs we have about what it actually takes to be successful. Think about it. We're all told that success is about hustle, right? Massive action, hard work. But this framework argues something totally different. It says that while action is necessary, it's actually just a small piece of the puzzle. The real game changer, the thing that makes all the difference, is the idea. And you can see this play out in the real world. Jack Ma didn't become a billionaire just by outworking everyone. He had the boom idea for Alibaba. The owner of CP Group had the boom idea to bring 7-Eleven to Thailand. In every case, it was the idea that was the turning point. Everything else followed from that. Okay, so if the idea is the most critical thing, that leads to a pretty big question, doesn't it? Where do these incredible, world-changing ideas even come from? Well, this brings us to the absolute core principle of this whole concept. The source suggests we've been looking at ourselves kind of backwards. We see ourselves as physical bodies, right? Just flesh and blood. But this perspective says, at our core, we are a being of vibration that just happens to have flesh and blood. So you're not a body that has energy. You are energy that has a body. It's a total flip. And this is why that matters so much. If you're a vibration, then your internal state, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, is constantly sending out a signal. It's like a radio frequency. And that signal is what attracts the ideas, the opportunities, and the outcomes that match it. It literally pulls your reality to you. Now, this leads us to what is, for my money, the most surprising and the most crucial point about manifestation itself. Most of us think of this as something you decide to do. Okay, today I'm going to spend 10 minutes manifesting. But what if that whole idea is wrong? What if you don't actually have an off switch? The answer, according to this framework, it's a hard no. You simply can't choose not to. It's not an option. So get this. Manifestation isn't a tool you decide to use. It's a fundamental process of being alive. It has been running nonstop every second of every day from the moment you were born, and it will continue until the day you die. It doesn't care if you believe in it or not, it's always happening. This just changes the whole game. The challenge isn't learning how to manifest. You're already an expert. You're doing it perfectly 24/7. The real problem is that you are unconsciously manifesting the same reality, the same circumstances, the same feelings over and over again, like you're stuck on a loop. So this leads us to the final, most practical question of all. If we're always creating our reality, whether we like it or not, how in the world do we change the channel? How do we start creating something different on purpose? While the source points out this classic cycle of being stuck that I'm sure feels familiar. Step 1, your conscious mind decides it wants change. I want to be more confident. Step 2, you try to take new actions, like speaking up in a meeting. Step 3, your subconscious mind, which holds the old picture of you as quiet and shy, completely rejects this new idea. It goes, whoa, that's not who we are. And step 4, snap, You get pulled right back to your old reality. And this right here pinpoints the real battlefield. The struggle isn't with your boss or your bank account. The real conflict is happening inside of you. It's the tug of war between what you consciously want and what your subconscious mind believes is true about you. So the solution isn't to just force it, to push harder against that resistance. The real solution is to do the internal work first. You have to impress that new picture, that new reality so deeply into your subconscious that it accepts it as the new normal. Once that happens, the actions you need to take stop feeling hard. They start feeling natural, easy even. So we'll leave you with this final thought. Since this creative process is always running, every single second, the only question that really matters is this: what picture, what command are you giving to your mind right now?